He threw like a man who just found a cheat code. Laser throws, deep shots that looked effortless, and a scramble that turned into a touchdown. And yet the stadium felt oddly empty when the clock hit 0. That contradiction is the story. Shedeur Sanders looked like the future for 4 quarters, and Cleveland still walked away with another loss. ESPN.com. You could figure it. You could feel it in the way the offense surged and stalled in the same drive. One series, Sanders drops a perfect 60-yard bomb that makes the crowd remember what hope feels like. The next, protection collapses and he forces one into traffic, intercepted, momentum gone, scoreboard flipped. By the end of the night, he'd piled up gaudy numbers: 364 yards through the air, 3 touchdown passes, a rushing score, a stat line that belongs in highlight reels and Rookie of the Week threads. It didn't win the game. It only made the loss sting more. ESPN.com. This was not a rookie who flashed moment. It was a full-blown announcement. He can sling it, he can extend plays, he can make veteran throws under pressure, and the Browns noticed. The organization told the world they'll stick with Sanders as the starter for the rest of the season. A clear vote of confidence and a message to fans that they want to see where this goes over the final 4 games. That commitment matters. It isn't just roster housekeeping, it's a subtle reshaping of the franchise's next chapter. Reuters, but the script also included something ugly and sudden. A center, Ethan Pocic, going down in the 4th quarter, carted off, and later ruled out for the year with a torn Achilles. It's the sort of injury that echoes, not just for the next few weeks, but into the spring and free agency chatter. Pocic is in the last season of a 3-year, $18 million deal, and with that injury, his status as a Brown next fall moves from likely to uncertain. The Browns' interior suddenly feels thinner, and the quarterback who depends on clean pockets just saw the protection around him lose a key piece. Yahoo Teitao. So where does that leave Shedeur? Standing on the field after the game, he couldn't hide the mixture of realism and hope. He talked about what Pocic brought: leadership, comfort, a tone setter in the run game and in protection. And then he said something small that doubled as enormous. He hopes Pocic is back next year, and he made it clear he's trying to do the same for himself. "I truly hope I can play with him next year, and I hope he's around next year," he said, then added with a grin, "I've got to make sure I'm around next year too." Those are not idle words from a 23-year-old rookie. They sound like first sentences of someone trying to stake a claim. SI. Make no mistake, Sanders' performance was a lesson in both promise and patience. He throws like he's been here before: anticipation on targets, timing with receivers, an ability to hit windows few rookies can see. But he's also a rookie who still holds the ball too long and will sometimes hunt for a miracle where a check down would save a drive. You can coach timing. You can't manufacture the kind of arm and composure he showed against Tennessee. The Browns have a decision to make: protect this developmental window or press reset in the offseason. For now, they're choosing the former. Reuters. The loss itself reads like a movie where the leading man has a great night, but the supporting cast keeps tripping over the plot. Tennessee ground the Browns down when it mattered. Tony Pollard exploded for a huge night, and Cam Ward, the top pick and yes, the other rookie storyline, did enough to close it out. The game had marquee moments: deep shots, a thrilling comeback attempt, and a turnover that swung the late lead. Still, the chest-tightening truth is simple. Sometimes brilliance isn't enough if the rest of the machine isn't working. ESPN.com. There's also something quietly brave about how Sanders faced that reality. After the interception that led to Tennessee's go-ahead score, you could have expected him to flinch, to bury his head. Instead, he kept firing the ball downhill, kept making plays, and afterward, he didn't hide behind excuses. He talked about what he needs to control: the reads, the throws, the work, and what he can't control. That combination of accountability and raw confidence is rare in rookies who are still learning where the line is between boldness and recklessness. NFL.com. Practical fallout. Losing Pocic means the Browns will have to lean on backups, maybe shuffle the line, and trust a younger center to handle shotgun snaps and nose rushes. It changes the game plan week to week. More quick releases, more max protect looks, probably a heavier dose of runs up the middle to help the new center find his rhythm. For a young quarterback trying to keep his head above water, it's the last thing you want. But if Sanders can keep making the big throws and command respect in the pocket, the Browns may find a way to hide the offensive line turbulence. Yahoo Tetao. Let's talk about the immediate next scene. The Bears on Sunday at 1 p.m. ET. Soldier Field in mid-December is no picnic. Cold, wind, and a rowdy crowd that eats rookie nerves for breakfast. The Browns will travel with a young quarterback trying to prove that his breakout performance wasn't just a single glorious night. Sanders will be measured not in highlight reels, but in whether he can help the team win when the margin is tiny, and the margins are measured in decision-making, pocket presence, and whether the offensive line, now patched, can keep him upright. Cleveland Browns, there's another layer here: optics and leverage. Pocic's contract status means the Browns will have hard conversations in the offseason. Can they bring him back after a major surgery? Will he market after proving his value in Cleveland? And for Sanders, every positive play is a bargaining chip for staying put. Every misstep invites the opposite. The front office looking at draft boards, rumors about bringing in veteran competition. His performances these last weeks are not just about wins. They're about narrative control, whether the team sees him as their quarterback or a player whose next contract will be debated in February. Yahoo Tetao. Let's not romanticize the moment. Cleveland is 3-10. That record doesn't disappear because one rookie lit up the stat sheet. But what's worth celebrating is the tension it creates. When a young quarterback flashes, truly flashes, it forces franchises to choose: chase immediate change or cultivate growth. The Browns have sounded like they want to cultivate. That can be messy. It can also produce something authentic and lasting if Sanders keeps improving and the team shores up the trench battles. Rotors them. So here's the short cinematic wrap. A rookie puts on a show and asks for the keys. An injury pulls the rug out from under the supporting cast. Management says, we'll let him drive for the rest of the year. The final act will be decided in the freeze of Soldier Field on Sunday and beyond. Whether the flashes become a streak or whether the team's structural problems keep collapsing the set. Sanders left the field saying he hopes Pocic returns, and he said he's fighting to return as well. That's not just sympathy. It's a declaration. It's a promise to be part of the same story next year. SI. If you want a soundbite to hang on, when the lights dim and people remember this season, they might not recall every loss. They might remember a rookie who played like he belonged and who, despite loss and injury and a fragile roster, claimed a simple, stubborn goal: I've got to make sure I'm around next year too. That line is the hook. It's not a prediction, it's a dare. And in a city that has learned to savor small joys amid the chaos, it might be exactly the sort of stubbornness Cleveland needs. SI. Browns QB Shedeur Sanders sends message after season-ending news. Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns dropped their second straight game in Week 14, falling to 3-10 after a 31-29 loss to rookie Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Cleveland will try to regroup and finish the season strong, beginning with a Week 15 trip to the Chicago Bears. Sanders put up the best game of his young NFL career in the loss. In his third start, the former Colorado quarterback completed 23 of 42 passes for 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and added 29 rushing yards and a rushing score. The Browns have elected to keep Sanders as the starter for the remainder of the year. The Browns' offense suffered a significant blow late in the game when center Ethan Pocic left with a severe injury and was carted off the field. Pocic was later diagnosed with a torn Achilles tendon, ending his season and potentially his tenure in Cleveland. His 3-year, $18 million contract expires after this season, making him an unrestricted free agent. Despite the setback, Sanders made it clear he wants Pocic back in the lineup next year. Ethan, it definitely hurt that he was out because the responsibility he took in helping everybody whenever I was able to come in and have that different level of comfort, Sanders said. I truthfully hope I can play with him next year, and I hope he's around next year, I really do, but I got to make sure I'm around too next year. Sanders and the Browns will face the Chicago Bears on Sunday at 1 p.m. ET.